Let's discuss today about the basic workflow for a version control system like Git. Let us do a walkthrough through all the steps involved. Firstly, we need to have a remote repo like GitHub. It could be GitLab, it could be Bitbucket, it could be something else. The purpose of having a remote repo is to keep our Artifactory or our code base in a remote repo. Repo is repository. Now the first step over there is that you need to create an account on GitHub or similar platforms and then create a repo on it. Let's say that there is a repo already existing on a GitHub. Now you joined a company and you wanted to work on that project. You need to have the access to that account on GitHub where your repo lies. Once you have it, what you need to do is you need to clone the repo. What does cloning means? It just brings the copy of your repo on your local machine so that you can start working on your local system. The next thing we should create our own branch. This is done to make sure that your changes are not impacting others' branches or the work of other developers or the estates involved in the project. A branch is like an isolated place where you can make all your changes and play with it. And once that branch starts working, you can then merge that branch on the master branch. Fourth is like you will be making all the necessary changes in files, in different files for the feature or the test case you want to work on. Now, once you have those changes in place, the next step is that you need to select those changes and then add those changes into the Git. So how we do it? There's a command to do it, git add and then the file names, or you can even just specify all the files using a dot and it will pick all those files. Now once you add them, you need to commit those changes so that Git knows that these are the files which you have approved to be committed, and those can be used to push them to the remote repo. And here you need to provide a message where you can provide a one-liner stating the purpose of this commit and what exactly changes you would have made as part of that commit. Now everything on this side like step 3, 4, 5, 6 are all happening on your local machine. Now you need to push these changes on your remote repo so that those changes becomes available to other people also in the project. So what you will do is now you will use the command git push. Now once you push your changes, what will happen is like the branch which you created locally, right? It will start reflecting in your remote repo. So earlier that branch was not existing on the remote repo. Now with git push, that branch will start appearing on the remote repo and all your changes would be shown there in that branch. The whole purpose of doing all these activities is that you want to contribute to the existing branch on the GitHub so that your changes are available for everyone to use. Now for doing that, you have to make sure that your branch gets merged into the master branch, the branch which everyone uses. So for doing that, you will have to create a pull request. If you are on GitHub, the terminology can vary. Like for GitLab, the terminology is merge request. But in terms of GitHub, the terminology we use is pull request. So you will create a pull request. In this pull request, you will have to mention like what is the source of the branch. Like in your case, let's say you created a branch saying login branch, let's say. And then there is a master branch to which you want to merge all your changes. So what you'll do is you will select your source path to be your login branch and the destination path would be the master branch. Once you create that pull request, it will go to the approvers. There would be a defined list of approvers in the project, so the reviewer can provide the comments and you will have to fix those comments. Now let's say that all the changes are done and the reviewer is happy and he will approve your pull request. He will just approve the pull request. All your changes will get merged from your branch to the master branch. Now all your changes which were made as part of your local branch will start reflecting in the master branch. Now the process is complete. So after this, the changes are available for everyone on the master branch. I hope you enjoyed the session today and would have learned something new. If you did, please subscribe the channel and do share the content with others as well.